So you've decided you want to live in Colombia. Great choice. Mountains, Caribbean beaches, eternal spring weather, but then comes the million-peso question. Which visa do I actually need? The retirement one? The shiny new digital nomad? Or do I just marry the first beautiful Colombian I meet and hope for the best? Spoiler alert, Colombia now has 43 different visa subcategories split into 3 buckets: visa, migrant, and resident. And if you don't know the rules, you can get denied faster than you can say no mas arepas for you. Hey everyone, I'm Matt, the Americano. I break down the confusing stuff about expat life so you don't waste time or money. In today's episode, we're doing the ultimate deep dive into Colombian visas. What's new in 2025, which ones are most popular right now, and hint, that would be digital nomad, retirement, marriage, student, and investment. And the exact documents you'll need, how much it really costs, and the sneaky mistakes that get people rejected. If you've ever thought of making Colombia your home base, this is the playbook. And before we get started, I've had the opportunity and pleasure to have coffees or dinners with a few of my viewers whom I now get to call my friends. I'm thinking of maybe anyone in Bogotá meeting for lunch or dinner as a group on October 18th. I'll organize a restaurant that can accommodate us. Maybe it's media res or wok. If you have an interest, I put an RSVP link in the description so I can get a head count. The only cost you would have is paying for your own meal and drinks. There's no other cost. Just a chance for fellow expats to meet. All right, let's start with the map. The framework that keeps Colombia's visa system from looking like alphabet soup. Back in late 2022, Colombia overhauled the whole thing under Resolution 5477. Today, there are 3 big families of visas. Visitor visas, the V visas. These are the short to mid-term options. There are 25 subcategories, plus a few courtesy visas, covering everything from tourism and digital nomads to students and business trips. Then there's the migrant visas, the M visas. These are for people who want to live and work here long-term, but aren't residents yet. There are 14 subcategories, including retirement, marriage, work, and investment. Then there are the resident visas, the R visas. These are the long-haul permits. Only 4 types exist, mostly for those who've built time in Colombia on any M visa or have deep family ties. So that's the map, VMR. Visitor is like renting an Airbnb, migrant is like signing a lease, and resident is like buying the house. Each step gives you more stability and more responsibility. Each one comes with its own rules, perks, and traps, and we'll hit all of them. Okay, so here's the cheat sheet. The quick chooser. If you don't want to sit through 20 minutes of me talking about visas, this is the part you need to pay attention to. You work remotely for a company outside Colombia. Well, that's the V Digital Nomad visa. You're retired with a lifetime pension of at least 3 times the minimum wage, then you're going to want the M retirement visa. Or you're married to a Colombian or living together long enough for a common law union, and that would be the M marriage visa or M partner visa. You've got a job contract with a Colombian employer. That would be the M worker visa. You're here to study Spanish or do a semester abroad. That would be the V student visa. You're ready to invest in real estate or a business. That would be the M investor or business owner visa. That's the fast lane. 6 profiles cover about 90% of foreigners applying in Colombia. Everyone else, diplomats, refugees, and the random Mercosur agreements, you're in the fine print section. And yes, we'll cover those too. Let's start with the visitors, the V visas. These are short to mid-term permits valid for up to 2 years depending on the category. There are 25 subtypes, but here are the greatest hits. There's the tourist permit, not technically a visa, just a stamp. Maximum of 180 days per calendar year in Colombia and never more than 180 consecutive days. Then there's the digital nomad visa. This is for remote workers for foreign companies, and it requires proof of income of at least 3 times Colombia's minimum monthly wage. And as of right now, the minimum monthly wage for 2025 in Colombia is 1,423,500 Colombian pesos per month, or about 356 US dollars. So 3 times that would be 1,068 US dollars a month for 2025. This is valid for up to 2 years. Then you have the student visa. This covers Spanish classes, exchanges, or university programs. Then there's the business/event/technical service/working holiday visa, which Colombia literally has visas for giving a TED Talk, filming a documentary, or working a seasonal farm job. So yeah, if you're coming to Colombia to study salsa dancing, launch a startup, or herd cows for 6 months, there's probably a V visa for you. Now for the big one, migrant visas. The M category. These are the mid to long-term visas that most expats end up with. There are 14 categories. Here are the ones you'll actually care about. Marriage visa or partner visa if you're married to a Colombian or in a civil union. And there's a bonus to this one. You have open work rights. You can do any legal job with either of these 2 visas. Then there's the retirement visa. You'll need a pension of at least 3 times the monthly wage. And again, that's around $1,068 a month, usually valid for up to 3 years. Then there's the worker visa. You can contract with a Colombian employer, but they are the only entity that you can work for. Then there's the business owner partner visa. Invest at least 100 times the minimum monthly wage in a Colombian company. And right now that's around $35,588. There's the investor real estate visa, and that requires at least 350 times the minimum monthly wage in property. And if you were paying attention earlier, minimum wage is 1,423,500 Colombian pesos. So this would be 498,225,000 Colombian pesos, which is about 124,282 US dollars at 2025 rates and the currency exchange at the time of this video. Then you have the professional or expertise visa. This is for practicing a regulated profession independently. Then there's the promotion of internationalization visa. This is for foreigners with advanced STEM degrees that Colombia wants. Other categories exist, like Mercosur Andean agreements, refugees, stateless people, but those are more niche. Now for the rules you need to know. There is the absence rule. Leave Colombia for more than 6 consecutive months and your M visa is canceled automatically. All you need to do is just pop in for a day to reset the clock. Now for the work rights for these. Some M visas are open, think marriage or civil union. Some are tied, like worker, and some are restricted, think investors. Think of M visas as Colombia saying, okay, you're serious about us, but don't ghost us for half a year or we're done. And last but certainly not least, the R visa, the resident. This is the holy grail if you want to stop worrying about renewals. There are just 4 ways in. By time, hold certain M visas for 2, 3, or 5 years straight, depending on the type. Marriage, for example, is 3 years. The partner, aka civil union, is 5 years, and retirement is 5 years. Another route is by family, parents of Colombian nationals, or those who renounced citizenship and came back. By Venezuelan TPS, a special path for Venezuelan migrants. By peace accord, FARC-related, very niche. Rules you need to know for these is if you leave Colombia for over 2 consecutive years, your R visa dies. Just like the absence rule on the M visa, all you need to do is pop back in for a day to reset the clock. After 5 years on an R visa, or 2 years if you're married to a Colombian, you can apply for Colombian citizenship. Dual citizenship is allowed, and you might think that the Colombian passport sucks. And in a lot of ways to Colombians, it does, because they can't go to the US, Canada, and the UK visa-free. But Colombians can go to Brazil, Indonesia, think Bali, and even Russia, to just to name a few. And I'm even told that they can get a visa to China much easier than a Westerner can. So to recap, visitors are the trial version, migrants are the subscription plan, and the residents are the lifetime membership, with a Colombian passport as the bonus prize. All right, let's talk paperwork. The part everyone hates, but the government absolutely loves. If you mess this up, it doesn't matter how perfect your visa category is. You'll get denied. So here's what you need to know. Now let's talk document rules. Every document has to be dated within the last 3 months at the time of your application. Any foreign document like birth, marriage, or pension statements needs an apostille. If it's not in Spanish, you'll need an official translation by a certified translator. Next up is health insurance. As of 2024, you must provide international medical insurance that complies with Ministry of Foreign Affairs standards, covering your entire stay with comprehensive medical care and repatriation. This insurance must be from a reputable international provider, as Colombian EPS plans are generally not accepted for visa requirements anymore. A policy lasting the full visa term, ideally 2 years, is recommended to avoid visa limitations and frequent renewals. I'll come back to EPS in a minute with a tip. Skip this step and your application is basically dead on arrival. And here's the big 2025 curveball. Criminal background checks are now required or requestable for almost all visas. Now, this has technically been a rule for a couple of years, but they really weren't enforcing it that much early on. Now they are. For Americans, that usually means an FBI check. For Canadians, an RCMP check. For Brits, a police certificate. Even if your visa type doesn't explicitly list it, the Cancilleria can demand one at any time. And if you can't produce it fast, denied. So think of it this way. If your documents aren't fresh, apostilled, translated, insured, and squeaky clean, don't even hit submit. Get those ducks in a row first. So now let's discuss step-by-step timelines and costs. So you've put it all together. You've picked your visa type, gathered your shiny apostilled documents, and bought insurance. Now what? Well, here's the full process from A to Z. First, you're going to collect your documents, updated within 3 months, apostilled, translated, and you'll apply online at the Cancilleria's official portal. You'll upload your docs in PDF plus a photo in JPEG. Wait for a review. Approval usually comes in about 5 to 30 days, but they may request extra docs or even call you for an in-person interview. Your visa is issued electronically. No more trips to Bogotá for a sticker. It's all digital since 2020. Register your visa and apply for your Cédula de Extranjería within 15 calendar days at Migrant, Colombia. Miss this step, expect fines up to 7 times the minimum wage, and that's like $2,500. So after all that, you'll pick up your cedula. It usually prints in 5 to 10 days. And here's the reality. From start to finish, budget 1 to 2 months. Apostilles and translations eat up most of the time. If you're applying while abroad, build in extra buffers so you don't run into last-minute stress. Now the money question. Costs fall into 3 buckets. First is government fees, and you have things like study fees that can be anywhere from 54 to 66 US dollars. Issuance fee, and this can vary by nationality and visa type, and can be $50, can be $200 or $300 or even more. Then next up is visa agency fees, and budget agencies are around $220 to $350. Law firms can be anywhere from $459 to up to $2,000 US dollars. And then you have extras, things like translations, notaries, apostilles, courier, and delivery. And don't forget your cedula fee. It's 267,000 Colombian pesos, about 65 US dollars. So if you do everything yourself, you're only paying the government admin fees. If you want less stress, budget a few hundred more for an agency. I personally think that's the route to go, as they are experts at this. So the big picture, give yourself 2 months, budget $500 to $800 total, depending on your visa type. And don't skip that 15-day cedula deadline. Do that and you'll be sipping your tinto legally at no time. All right, here are the top 10 mistakes foreigners make with Colombian visas and how you can avoid them. Number 10, waiting too long to extend a tourist stay. You only get 90 days on arrival. Extend online before it expires, and you get a max of 180 days per calendar year, but never more than 180 consecutive. Number 9, forgetting health insurance. Since 2024, insurance is mandatory for all visitor visas and several migrant ones like retirement and investment. Skip it and you're out. Number 8, not registering your visa and getting your cedula. You have 15 days after approval or entering Colombia, if issued abroad, to register and get your Cédula de Extranjería. Miss it and fines can hit 7 times the minimum wage, nearly 10 million pesos in 2025. Number 7, staying outside Colombia too long. With an M visa, out more than 6 consecutive months, your visa dies. With an R visa, out more than 2 years, your visa dies. Number 6, using old documents. Every doc has to be dated within 3 months of applying. An old marriage certificate or pension letter won't fly. Number 5, no apostille. Foreign docs must be apostilled or legalized if your country isn't in the Hague Convention. And I have one guy in my comments who's left several comments that you can have your FBI background check apostilled by your state instead of the U.S. State Department. That simply is not true. A federal document can only be apostilled by the federal government. Number 4, skipping official translations. Non-Spanish docs need to be translated by a certified translator in Colombia. Google Translate does not count. Number 3, starting too late. Gathering docs, apostilles, and translations takes time. Apply at least 2 months before your current status expires. Number 2, missing documents or typos. Names and dates must match your passport exactly. Even a missing hyphen can delay or sink your application. And number 1, ignoring background checks. By 2025, almost every visa can require a background check. For Americans, that's the FBI check. For Canadians, an RCMP. For Brits, a police certificate. Don't wait until they ask. Have it ready. So there you go, the 10 ways people blow it. Learn these and you'll save yourself time, money, and a few gray hairs. All right, time for a lightning round. These are the questions I get over and over about Colombian visas. So let's rapid fire some answers. Number 1, can I work on my visa? Well, that depends. If you have a marriage or partner visa, yes, you have open work rights, any legal job. If you have a worker visa, you can only work for that employer. If you're a business owner, you can only work in your company. If you're a digital nomad, you can only work for foreign clients, not Colombian clients. How long are migrant visas valid? Well, when I got my visa, it was good for a year. Then I renewed it and it was magically good for 2 years. And then everyone after that's been basically just for 1 year. However, I'm told that they can be for up to 3 years, but the final decision is at the Cancillería's discretion. What happens if I leave Colombia too long? Well, if you're on an M visa, if you leave for more than 6 months straight, you lose it automatically. And for an R visa, if you're gone for more than 2 years, you lose it. All you gotta do is pop in for a day to reset that clock. How do I qualify for citizenship? Well, after 5 years on a resident visa or 2 years if you're married to a Colombian, you can apply. And I will tell you, I'm told it takes 1 to 2 years. And the cool thing is, Colombia allows dual citizenship. Do I need a lawyer? Nope. Most people use a visa agency instead. It's cheaper, faster, and they know the quirks. Lawyers are only needed for really complex cases. And to be honest, I highly recommend using a visa agency. It's typically not that expensive and it removes the stress. Do I really need to get a cedula? Yes. If your visa is valid for more than 3 months, you're legally required to get a cedula de extranjería within 15 days. Boom, quick answers to the questions that keep most people up at night. If you've got more, drop them in the comments. I'll do a part 2 if this fills up. Okay, let's wrap this up with your action checklist. If you want that Colombian visa, here's exactly what to do. First, pick your category: visitor, migrant, or resident. Decide which of the 43 subtypes fit your life. Next, check your income investment numbers. Most visas are tied to Colombia's minimum wage. For example, retirement and digital nomad is 3 times the minimum wage, about $1,068. Business owners are 100 times, which is about $35,588. Real estate investments are 350 times, think about $124,282. And then next, you have to prep your docs. You need fresh, apostilled, and officially translated documents that are all less than 3 months old. Next is add your insurance and your background check. Health insurance is mandatory for all visitor visas and most migrant ones. Background checks are now requested in almost every category. And you can apply online. Submit everything through the Cancillería's portal. Remember, all visas are issued electronically now. And then basically you register and get your cedula. Within 15 days of approval, go to Migration Colombia. Don't skip this step because fines hit nearly 10 million pesos. And remember, when I said I would come back to EPS, I've been told that once you get your cedula, you now qualify for EPS. So you can apply for EPS at that moment, but you still need that international health insurance when you renew your visa. And to be honest, I've spoken to other expats who have both EPS and private insurance for peace of mind. Follow this list and you'll be living legally in Colombia faster than you can order a bandeja paisa. So here's the big takeaway. Colombia's visa system looks complicated, but it's really just 3 families: visitor, migrant, resident, each with their own quirks. If you line up your documents, grab the right insurance, and don't ignore that background check, you'll avoid the mistakes that trip up most people. And the reward? A life in one of the most vibrant, affordable, and welcoming countries in the world. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button. It helps me keep making deep dives like this. And if you want even more insider tips, tools, and country comparisons, grab the Passport newsletter and magazine. It's packed with the kind of stuff you won't find in a government PDF, and it's free. The link's in the description below. I'm Matt, the Americano. I'll see you in the next episode and maybe at a local coffee shop if your visa process goes smoothly. Take care. I've had the opportunity and pleasure to have coffees or dinners with a few of my viewers whom I now get to call my friends. I'm thinking of maybe anyone in Bogotá meeting for lunch or dinner as a group on October 18th. I'll organize a restaurant that can accommodate us. Maybe it's media res or wok. If you have an interest, I put an RSVP link in the description so I can get a head count. The only cost you would have is paying for your own meal and drinks. There's no other cost. Just a chance for fellow expats to meet.